Hey everybody, this is Perch, and getting to a viewer mail. By the way, I just I moved to my new location. There is a local meat market that's like a butcher, but it specializes in uh, Hispanic, I guess, flavoring and marination and all that kind of stuff in the food. And it just stopped in there. It's incredible, and they've got breakfast burritos. They've got torta sandwiches. They've got it looks amazing. So I'm very happy about that. I'm going to turn into Texas Sobolski here if I'm not careful. Anyway, getting to this viewer question. No, I won't subject you to a bunch talking about food. Um, it says, "Hey, I've been watching, and enjoying your content for the last couple months. Sharing your work with friends, I believe, would also enjoy it. Thank you, by the way. Especially, it's nice if you share the videos with friends who are like, that Perch guy is a hateful bigot, or that Perch guy is a comic apologist. They can hear for themselves. They may still come to that same conclusion, but that'll be on them. My question is about adults projecting their ideas onto kids. I saw a post about a father stating that his son really enjoyed that Don Lee starred as Gilgamesh in Eternals, that people of Asian descent could also be superheroes. While I enjoyed Don Lee's character and I have no issue with him playing Gilgamesh, I find it weird that an elementary school aged kid understands is thinking about these issues. I'm of Mexican descent, so I'm making an assumption. The you would love the food here. Come on up. I'll do some barbecue. See, that's not right of me. You may hate Mexican food. It's all, what do I know? Anyway, sorry. I'm Mexican descent. See, I get myself into trouble with these things. And at that age, never thought about these issues. What mattered to me was how cool or awesome the suits and action was in shows like Teen Titans, Power Rangers, Static Shock. God, you're young. I'm old. I'm old as well. What do you think about this topic? Have you seen similar instances? Thanks for your time. All right, so definitely have seen similar instances. But it's screwed up. So the thing that you mentioned here is completely right, and that is most people, by and large, the vast majority of people, particularly kids, they are not thinking about this stuff unless you insert it into their head. And they don't. The kids, in most instances, don't want to think about this stuff. The kids just want to enjoy superheroes, as you identify in your mail. They're looking for stories. They're looking for big topics like heroism and other things. Now, you mentioned adults inserting ideas into their kids' heads, and the reality is, adults do this all the time. Adults, and it's not inherently wrong if the ideas being inserted into kids' heads are helping them think, are helping them understand the world around them, are helping them kind of digest these topics, as opposed to telling them what to think. I think there's a major difference between, hey, this is what heroism is. This now you take this concept of heroism, you can apply it to whatever you want. Maybe apply it to someone who fought in the Civil War. Maybe you apply it to somebody who's protesting for LGBTQ rights. Maybe you're projecting that view of heroism to a firefighter who runs into a burning building, to a marine. Who knows? Your view of what heroism ultimately comes across as is something that your kid or children should come to understand and enjoy. But you need to teach them the core principle of heroism, about doing what's right even when it's hard to do that thing. And I think that comic books were always excellent back in the day at doing that, at introducing these themes that then could get carried out into other worlds, other reasons. There's a reason why a lot of people who grew up with comics in the 60s, 70s, 80s, why they grew up to have this view of heroism that maybe looked very different from person to person. Each person had their own perspective of what heroism could be, because comics took great pains in introducing themes and not giving you the answer. Um, I I I really dislike this where race comes into it. And what I mean by that is when parents say things like, "Aren't you glad you can finally see a person who looks like you, an Asian person, as a hero?" Well, I mean, if your kid is, well read or has been exposed to any kind of content, they've already seen this stuff. If some kid who really cares about seeing an Asian superhero that looks like them, they're Asian, they want to see an Asian superhero. If that's a deep desire for both the parent and the kid, if the first instance of this is the Walt Disney movie The Eternals, I would say those parents have screwed up pretty badly, because there are countless uh, shows and characters and manga and anime. There's tons out there that have Asian superheroes. They're I mean, hell, Bruce Lee was pretty badass. There's plenty of really great role models out there. You don't have to artificially kind of insert them. You can just let your kid consume really awesome superhero fantasy type work, and the rest will work out for itself. It doesn't need to be more complicated than that. In fact, if you make it more complicated than that, it gets weird. You run a higher risk of your kid rejecting it, of them, wondering what, are they getting a lesson, or are they getting a comic book, or are they getting a lesson? They want enjoyment. They want entertainment. They do not want to, while they're reading about some hero defeating some mythological dragon or something, they don't want to have to also go through the various human rights suffering that have occurred for a race for the last 400 years. You're not going to win over any kids with that. To the contrary, you're going to turn them off. Unfortunately, that is popular right now. I think that there's a lot of parents who are guilted into and pushed to kind of teach a deeper message, or get more out there, get more of it's not enough to just enjoy superheroes. You also have to understand the tragic shame and disgrace of the injustices that have been perpetrated for years. I mean, I guess it goes back to, not to be a broken record. Kids need to be able to digest and feel and see the themes of things. They need to understand the spirit of what these topics mean before you start injecting some of this other stuff into them. If you tell a kid, hey, the Confederate Army was bad. They were bad people. They were very, very bad, and they are terrible, and they're hateful monsters, and we need to destroy these statues because they're bad. If you start the lesson there, then your kid's going to not understand why they're bad. You're telling them, and so you're inserting just a message into their head. But wouldn't it be better to say, hey, once upon a time, there was slavery, and slavery was a sin, and it was evil, and it was disgraceful, and it was wrong that this stuff happened. And some people fought against it, and some people fought for it, and thankfully the people who fought against it won, and we defeated it. Isn't that a smarter, healthier, better way to introduce a topic than just say, hey, this army is bad? Don't ask why, just bad. You need to see people who look like you in superhero films. If you don't, it's bad. Like that, you're not winning over any ideas. You're not winning over any people. So unfortunately, I have seen it. I've seen a lot of it, and it seems to be a theme right now. And I think it's a dangerous one. I think it's bad. I think it's harmful for comics, but I think it's more harmful for kids. Anyway, that's my answer. What do the rest of you think? Let me know in the comments below. Like and subscribe, of course, and thanks for listening.